AM1. On my way to a gig. Well, already arrived, but now it's hurry up and wait. About to shoot. I figured I'd do a car video while I wait for this thing to pop off. So my day yesterday concluded what ended up being a over 40-hour fast. Did a ton of cardio while fasted from Sunday to Tuesday afternoon. Now, asterisk next to that fast, because there was protein in the form of bone broth and protein in the form of protein powder, and there was ghee butter. So the mealless Monday fast strategy that I've been deploying for over a year now, more on that, I've adapted it in a new way to leverage more fat adaptation. You definitely want to be fat adapted. You want to be fat adapted for sure. And we're going to expand on that in future videos as well. But for now, fat adapted for sure. Cardio, burning a whole lot of calories while fasted. Went to the gym, just killed it. And it's just mind-blowing just to see when you really put your body in that state where you can go from burning carbs to burning fat, utilizing that as a fuel source. And, just years of hearing you need the 3 macros. And then as of late, more so in the last couple of years, listening to information, scientists, doctors who work in labs, work in their own practices, and they're saying, yeah, there's no need, absolute need for carbohydrate intake. And putting it to the test, when you really put it to the test, that personal experiment, and you realize it's true, still just mind-blowing to really see it in effect and just really feel yourself bouncing off the wall with energy and thinking, my intake of carbohydrates are so low. So this is me yesterday. And then, did the fast, broke the fast with just, what was it? Some eggs and some tuna. Then today I had half a dozen eggs, tuna again, and then some steak. It's just so simple. So we'll get more into that as well. So obviously, as you guys can see, I'm kind of leveraging a animal-based carnivore diet style. Now, I'll bring that up because, I don't like to, I'm definitely a fan of low-carb keto carnivore, but I'm a bit adverse to using carnivore diet as a brand phrase concept. And I'll explain more about that later. But I wanted to tell you guys about how interesting this stuff is, right? Because 2 experiences I had while at the gym. So I'm working out crazy yesterday before I break the fast. Fasted state, a lot of cardio, a lot of steps, incline on the treadmill for an hour, and then a 25-minute jump rope session, then hit some reps on the bench press, then went in the sauna for another 25 minutes, all fasted. So just torching calories, right? Just mind-blowing. But while on the treadmill, on that incline treadmill, I ran into a homie of mine who I hadn't seen in a few months. And let's just say his name is L, in fact. Like, that is his first initial L. So I hadn't seen him in a while, and I'm like, oh, you look like you trimmed down a little bit. And he was like, yeah, a lot of people have been telling me I've been trimming down. And this dude is a jokester. Like, I want to try to do an interview with him based on what he told me. But this guy is just a hilarious guy and just super animated. So he tells me, well, yeah, I've lost a lot of weight since late last year because I'm on Ozempic. Now, he's been on the heavier side. This guy's, kind of about the same height as me. I'm 6'2", but definitely like larger overall. Solid, strong dude. He would do crazy like sprints on the bench where he would just literally, like, his workout would be go in the gym almost every day and just do crazy sets of 225 on the bench, back to back to back to back to back. And I saw him do that for years, just as an aside. I saw him do that for years and I was like, wait, do you ever do back workouts? And he was like, no. You think I should? And I just laughed. I was like, yeah, probably should. Just imagine how strong you'll be. But he just focused on bench pressing. So he was a lot bigger and stockier over the years, but he has since lost weight over the last, let's just say 3 months. 3 to 4 months. But he says, I'm on Ozempic. And I kind of look at him like, Ozempic? He's like, well, yeah, I'm diabetic. He said, you know, Ozempic was originally a diabetes drug, right? Or drug to treat diabetes. And I was like, yeah, actually, I did know that. So then, you know, I've known this guy for over a decade. So without trying to get in his business too much, I was like, without trying to get in your business too much, had it, you know, come across your radar that could be treated with, he was like, you mean just treat it with diet? Just change how I eat? Yeah, I know. But so he was honest about the idea that he wanted something to kind of, what he said, his own words, was that he wanted something to kickstart the process to remedying his diabetic state and try to normalize and then take it from there. And then he kind of, you know, got more real about it and said, well, you know, and it's just hard. You know, and then he listed some, you know, pastry treat kind of processed food things that he has at home and says, yeah, it's just kind of hard. And at least he was honest about that. And it just made me think like, wow, I appreciate his honesty about it in saying that he was willing to, you know, do the pharma drug thing versus go straight to the diet fix, the real healthy diet fix. And just that he knows it's hard. Like he's caving to certain weaknesses. Like, of course, nobody's perfect. We all have our vices. But for me, it's just totally unacceptable to go use some kind of pharmaceutical remedy of that nature too, that's largely experimental. But I mean, I guess it was developed for that purpose. He's using it as purpose specific, but still, if I have the option, somebody tells me you have something that, I have family that recently, just in my personal life, passed with complications from diabetes. And obviously, you know, they were older in life, more progressed in life. But, you know, myself and my friend I'm talking about, you know, we're around mid-40s. He's talking about, you know, diabetes and Ozempic while working out and training. And I'm like, wow, it's just totally crazy to me, because I would definitely attack it with the diet situation, which I've done. And it was just an interesting discussion, but I at least appreciate his level of honesty, right? But I want to talk to him a little bit more about that and see, because I'm working on programs, protocols, ways to educate people on and strategically ease them into more of a keto, carnivore, low carb lifestyle, and just so they can see the impacts of it, because it's been a mind-blowing journey for myself. I've done so much to remedy my health and energy levels and just totally turn back the clock in ways that just defy all that I've ever been told about what's supposed to happen in your 40s. Things that I've witnessed from people aging, you know, myself, from, you know, family members and whatnot, and older family friends were, you know, 40s to 50s to 60s, and the usual level of deterioration in their bodies, and just thinking that's just how it is when you age, and understanding no, not understanding now, no, we have total control over it. And I find that to be super empowering. So, you know, interesting discussion. I want to further that with my guy L. Shout out to him. So later on, I go back out because I ended up with like 21,000 steps yesterday. Go in, break the fast, come back out later. I do a walk around Lake Merritt, downtown Oakland, and I run into another homie of mine who I hadn't seen in like a good 4 or 5 years, Damon. He won't mind me saying his name. Now, we used to, you know, kick it and chop it up in the gym and talk-ish and just be rowdy in the gym and whatnot. And this guy's like super amped up and hyped. Just his whole energy is just way a little bit too much for even me, but a cool guy. And I heard from another mutual friend of ours that he had been running a carnivore diet, which is interesting, right? Because a lot of people in the Bay Area are not hip to the game on keto, low carb, carnivore. In fact, more people in the Bay seem to lean more towards kind of like a plant-based, vegetarian, vegan kind of thing. And I know, because I fell for it too. But most people are still way behind in understanding that, yeah, that's kind of hustling backwards. But not to belabor that point, we can address that later. I don't want the wars. I don't want the smoke. I don't want the beef. I do want the beef, but not that beef. I run into Damon. He's been running carnivore. Shout out to my guy Mike. He tells me about Damon, mutual friend. running Carnivore. So I run into Damon and I was like, Mike told me you've been running Carnivore. And he jumped up and was like, yeah. Some other friends of ours, out at the lake, chilling, talking. And we just got into a discussion about the whole Carnivore thing. And one of our friends was there, was like, yeah, I know you guys were, he was talking to me about it. And we were saying like, yeah, the low carb, animal based Carnivore, the variations of that. And my guy Damon just starts going off on all of the benefits of it and the whole understanding how they set us up for failure with the food system and whatnot. And it was just super interesting because, again, myself and Damon is a little bit older than me, so he's probably like 47, 48. And our other young homie, Brian, shout out to B, he's like 32 or 33. So he's sitting listening to me and him talk about, and me and Damon are in far better shape than Brian, the young homie. And he's listening to us talk about low carb carnivore, and he knows how active I am and how athletic I am. And he knows how active Damon is too, because he stays in the gym. So it's just interesting when the older guys, mid 40s, approaching 50, are, and as it should be, sort of kicking down the gyms to the young homie. And he's watching and he's like, yeah, I need to get right. I need to do some things. And he's open to it. But it was just so interesting, sort of like where my mindset was yesterday. And just, again, being more and more blown away by being a living example and a living contradiction to what we've been told about this whole health, diet, eating, consumption thing. The whole, you just get older and you just fall apart and that's just how it is. And I've defied that many times over in my 4+ decades. But even more so now, being able to do it in a very systematic and controlled way, and then now being able to coach other people on it and seeing the rise of more people's awareness to it is interesting. So I'm just having a blast all the way around. And me being a business guy and a media guy, it's great for business because I'm looking to share the fun, share the benefits, share the health, share the vibrant energy, and show people it's actually so simple. A phrase I've been saying for years relative to, the diet understanding, the nutrition understanding, health understanding. It's the hardest, easiest thing because we have been set up for failure with a lot of distractions and things that are designed to keep us addicted to fake food and unhealthy lifestyles. So it's very hard, and billions of dollars have gone into making it very hard. But once you understand how it works and you apply the discipline and the focus, then it's so easy. So it really is the hardest, easiest thing. And as of late, I found myself more leaning towards, it's so easy. It's so simple. It's so easy. Like once you understand how it works and understand more of the physiology, the biology, from a chemistry standpoint, what you're consuming, understanding that it's actually mass you're consuming more so than calories, and how do these mass substrates impact your body on a hormonal level. Once you understand that level of chemistry, it's just really a no-brainer. It's just to the point where if you eat certain things, you know exactly what you're doing and you just got to own it. And it takes away the question mark of, I don't know where to start, I don't know what to do. Like the science of it is actually pretty simple, even though the complexity of the human body and the interface with the mind and brain and all that is just something is inconceivable. Understanding, hey, if you eat this, this happens. It's so simple. So the idea of, I understand people's confusion. I don't know where to start. But that's why I love the fact that I'm so interested and invested in learning this stuff. I'm such a nerd about this stuff, just like I am about cameras. But more on that. But yeah, just tying it all together, where I'm at, my understanding of diet, nutrition, fitness, I'm such a sponge for this stuff. I'm just soaking up more and more and more. And I'm seeing a shift in the world. People wanting to make America healthy again. And I have some thoughts about that. And I say, like, Uncle Sam wants you to make America healthy again, meaning it's on you. RFK, I wish him the best, but I don't think he's going to do it. You have to do it. We have to do it. And it's the hardest, easiest thing, but it's way easier than you think. And it's a necessity. And if we're going to make the world a better place, it's going to have to start with the decisions you make and how you feed yourself, how you feed your family, how you empower yourself. Strong links for a strong chain. And one piece.